with the best gift ever.
Did somebody just walk in here and Febreze everywhere?
Yep. I sterilized my hands.
That's what
Smell my hands.
No.
Smell my hands. Smell my hands.
No.
God, no. Things no adult should ever have to hear.
Smell my hands.
Oh my hands.
Kristen, there's a challenge for you to give a made-up cringe story about one of your Penny Arcade colleagues.
Ooh.
Or I guess a cringe story that you can at least pretend is made up.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Give me a mo. Let me think about something. I can tell a real. No, I mean a fake cringe story.
That's right.
Yeah.
That did not actually happen.
Yeah, it's all imagination. I have Penny Arcade story time. My favorite fake story to tell.
Once you get closer.
Right. Gather round, chat. Gather round. All right.
Should we give her a microphone?
I'm going to tell you a totally fake story about how clever Penny Arcade as a whole actually is. So, once upon a time, Penny Arcade does an annual trip. Because now we're doing 4 PAXs a year and we're like totally shot. Our brains not working. And this is evidence of that. Because we did an annual trip to Las Vegas one year. Now, Las Vegas is surrounded by desert. And out in this desert is the Grand Canyon, far away. And we thought that it would be really cool, not actually, but in the story, to do a rafting trip down the Grand Canyon. A whole bunch of us from the office.
I'm going to interrupt 1 second. Corey, I'm begging you, please turn off autopilot.
Yeah, let him do the bus stop.
Please let me try to get this bus stop.
He traded his shame for this bus stop, Chivo.
Okay.
It's true.
Thank you.
It's true. So we had to get up very, very early in the morning in order to get out to where the river trips down the Grand Canyon were happening, and because it was about, I think it was about a 3-hour drive from where we were staying to get there. Now this river trip was a very long, involved thing, which was a whole day. You'd get into a raft, do the rafting, and then have this nice float down the river.
Colorado?
Yeah, the Colorado River to the exit point. The exit point would actually, once you got out, bus stop!
Hang on. We got to see if I can start again.
Oh, yeah! Very nice.
I will mark that.
Beach?
Yes.
Still not worth it.
I know.
You have to live with that for the rest of your life.
It's fine. It's all
I think he's
fine.
okay with it. I think he's
So we
come
have to go back
terms.
to Kristin's
Right.
alleged
My alleged,
story.
totally pretend
Alleged.
story of Penny Arcade does Las Vegas
in the Grand Canyon.
in the Grand Canyon. Once you finished this river run, they would actually take you in a helicopter you out of the Grand Canyon, because we're in the middle of nowhere, and fly you back to the starting point. All right. So that was the route. So we set off from our hotel, 2 noble vehicles filled with smiley, happy, ready to raft the Grand Canyon River. I think it was around 4 in the morning when we left. And we relied upon one member of our noble team, who shall remain nameless at this time in the story, to get directions and to drive. Now, it didn't occur to said person to check that there was gas in the vehicle, that the directions were correct, and that we had any supplies whatsoever in the car. So it turns out, as we're, driving into the desert, something just doesn't feel right, because we're getting progressively into the middle of it's just sand. And we have no cell signal. But we are lucky enough to get just flashes of signal, and somebody realizes that we're actually driving to the exit point, not the starting point. The exit point, which is the one that they actually airlift you out of the canyon in the middle of nowhere. Because there's nothing there, not the starting point with the lodge and the people and the safety. So yes, so that person was not Koo. I should someone's in the chat. It's like, that can't possibly have been Koo. You would be correct. Anyway, so we have no way to sort of verify this. We're in a van, and in this van there is one man, and the rest of the passengers are all women. And we sort of have a debate over whether we are in fact going in the right or wrong direction, because there's like two opposing schools of thought. Whether we should turn around, but we had no gas. So there was a lot of discussion going on. We finally came to a consensus that we were just gonna damn the torpedoes, drive as fast as possible, and hope that we didn't run out of gas in the middle of the desert. Now there's various things that became clear, that moment of clarity when you start to actually fear for your life, which was we were approximately 5 hours off of the trail for where we were supposed to be. So when the search crew came to look for us, they were going to go to the wrong direction, right? Because we weren't where we were supposed to be. There was no signal. We had no water in the car. We had no food in the car. We did everything wrong. When you read in the paper about people who like get lost and die in the desert, we did everything that they warn you not to do. Another flash of cell signal hits, and someone manages to get a map that shows that if we continue on just a little further, there's a dirt road that may or may not connect to Route 66. And again, we have another vote and decide that we're gonna go for it. And we make it to the dirt road, which is actually a sand road. And the road is called Antares Road, which we felt in this made-up story and not reality, was a good portent, that it was a name filled with destiny. And we would probably live, maybe, if we took Antares Road to its conclusion. And so we did. And the driver of the van figured that the faster we drove, the more likely we would get there with saving the fumes in the van that we had. And sure enough, we made it. We made it to Route 66, and we literally coasted into the parking lot of a gas station that was called, hypothetically, the Gas and Grub, which I'm totally making up, but not. And we were all so happy to have survived that we finally did not die in the desert in the wrong place. And we took lots of photos of us gleefully leaping in the air because we hadn't died in the desert. But the fun part of it, once we realized that we weren't dead, was that because of the makeup of the passengers of the van, we had created a story to occupy our minds as we were driving, which was that the male occupant of the van was in fact forging out into the desert to create his harem and his own civilization, and that he had in fact chosen a wide variety of females to accompany him, and he was going to build an empire in the sand. And we actually thought that was kind of funny, and we had all defined our roles within this new society, but then we managed to get to the highway, and it was never to be. But that would be my cringe-worthy story, because let me tell you, when you're in the desert with no cell signal, it's like 4 in the morning, and you realize that you might die, and because you were dumb, you cringe. There is a moment of cringing there when you think, oh man, people are going to read this in the paper and on the internet and think, what a bunch of idiots. Yeah, it just happened though. I don't
Who's
know.
gonna know you were geeks?
So
Yeah.
if this had gone wrong, would it have wiped out like the entire female population
it would
of
have,
Penny Arcade?
yeah, it would. Well, it would have wiped out. Yeah, I think it. I'm trying to just figure out. I don't think Jamie was in our van. It was there were a lot of spouses in the van. So it certainly would have made Penny Arcade very sad.
So did the other car?
The other car made it. Yeah,
and,
the other
went
car
down the whitewater
yeah,
rafting?
and we all actually made it, but of course we were super late getting there. But our party, like we had made a reservation for, I think there was like 15 of us or something like that in total. So we were pretty much the entire booking for that trip, with the exception of there were a handful of other people. So they had to hold the raft for us. Because we phoned from the gas station. By that point, we were already like a couple of hours late or an hour late. And we phoned and we're like, we're lost. You know, we're in the desert, but we're okay. We're going to get there. And they were so mad at us. Rightfully so, because people had paid good money to do this rafting trip. And, you know, this car full of total morons held up the process. So we got there and they gave us the fastest life jacket safety briefing in get in the raft, go, so that we could actually get going. And I do feel a little bad for that, because these other people had were expecting this really great day without a van full of idiots. But no, that was us.
I would appreciate the irony if you survived dying in the desert and then died while going down rapids.
Because they rushed the briefing. Yeah,
that would be pretty amazing.
It would be pretty funny. We all would have, of course, hypothetically lied through our teeth and said, no, of course we didn't do something really dumb like drive through the desert with no water, no accurate maps, no cell signal, no nothing.
So the great thing about desert bus is you don't really need the accurate map, because there's really just the one road.
There's the one road,
and
exactly.
It's perfectly straight.
And you know, it's actually fairly accurate,
Yes,
I would say.
it is,
This look here.
Well,
yeah, only if you imagined the bus just turning off into the sand and going like on a 45-degree angle, that's kind of sort of what we did, almost.
Beach has got some experience with that because he's crashed the bus five times.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's
There was
all
no
me.
crashing. So this sand road, Antares Road, the fabled road, had a lot of cattle guards on it. Or I guess they're actually, I don't know. There were these spikes on the side of it every once in a while that are to keep. I guess there is some scrub.
keep people from escaping.
To keep people from escaping. There's some scrub on the side of the road, and I guess that there's ranchers out there or something that do graze animals on the scrub. I don't know. Anyway, there was these really strange. There was really strange like livestock guards in the middle of nowhere, and we're thinking, like, what are they, camels? Like, what is out here? What are they keeping off of this dirt road? We couldn't quite figure it out, but we had built the explanations into our new civilization that we were going to form in the middle of nowhere. It had no bicycle signs and no trespassers. It's very possible. Oh, wait a second. I know. Yes, it is possible that this hypothetical dirt road had no trespassing signs on it. That may or may not, in chat, be somebody who was in that van with me and nearly died with us.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, not actually. It was a great trip, though, wasn't it? Yes.
It would have been if it had actually happened, anyway.
I should find some of the photos that we took once we celebrated our survival, because we were so happy. You have no idea. There was a barn at the gas station that had the big Route 66 picture paint, like the sign, painted on the side of it. And it was like, we took so many pictures in front of that Route 66. We're like, we lived, yay! It was hypothetically that we didn't actually do. But yes, if you ever go on a road trip in the desert, make sure you have the right directions, make sure you have water and food in the car, and make sure people know that you're actually going in the general direction, and then don't drive in another direction, because it's just dumb.
Make sure that the compass you have with you is not like one of the compasses that we had here.
Yes,
were
that's
pointing in
right.
two different
That's right.
directions.
And it was great that we had to like debate whether or not, like, whose directions were correct. Whether the original navigator, because the original navigator was like, no, we're going here, and going in that direction, and then there were other voices of dissension in the car going, I don't know if we should do that. It seems like a bad idea. And yeah, and yes, it is. They're debating the spelling of this. It's Antares, like the star. And
People want to know how you can take photos of something that never happened.
Yeah, it's totally photoshopped. I'll post some photoshopped photos, because I have a really great montage that I did after the trip,
trick the
which is
chat.
like a picture of the road, which is dead straight, and the rising sun, because it's it's like 5 in the morning, and a picture of the gas gauge, which is at 0. There's a great photoshopped montage of all of the bad choices that were made that day.
So deep now.
Yeah, and it was fun. Anyway, that's my story.
Yay.
Antares.
Antares forever.
Antares.
Paul, can I-
All right, so
right.
donation slow down a little bit.
Okay,
We got
we're going speed here. All right, not actual speed.
We're doing speed? Speed.
Okay.
the bus drops under 50 miles per hour,
Where's it?
which
Okay.
it can't ever reach, so we're safe.
Yeah. It's like there's been a bomb on this bus for like a couple of years now.
Yeah,
It hasn't really come up though.
there's very bad planning on this guy's part.
All right. See how many people you can stack on top of one another. Go.
Are we stack?
Like straight plank.
Sure.
Like
Dog
last year.
pile.
Bottom.
Go 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 go.
Yeah, sorry.
Alright.
You down.
While we set this up, Paul, where did you tell us where you hit the
I
bodies?
think I think like a dog
Is
pile.
how many peoples we can stack on each other as possible.
All right.
So you're
I'm needed.
you're chosen.
I don't think we're.
I think
You're
we're
not
not
doing a pyramid.
Not
This
pyramid.
would just be a
It's
dog pile, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dog pile.
flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just lie down flat.
Dog pile.
Okay.
Are we gonna like,
safe
or
word?
should we do like crossways? Or
Maybe like a star. Like.
Yeah. Just like cross.
Oh, hello,
Okay.
friend.
Keep going. Keep going.
All right.
Get in there. And Paul, tell us where you hit the bodies.
I'm on the floor.
While you do this.